But let me double check. Oh god, I hate this. Oh, it is recording. Okay. Alright, first things first in this topic. In reality, you don't really need much to track your car. You do need your basic tools. You know, you need some jack stands and a jack, of course, a spare tire, little tools in here and there. You can probably go to Sears, Pep Boys, and get the basic toolbox for right now. That's just to get you started. So let's say you got your brand new car or you got your old car. So you can go both ways. You got a brand new FRS, a brand new BMW. It can be as simple. I've seen people in vans. I'll be honest with you. I've seen people in at the track and driving their little vans and shit. And you know, my props to them because they're actually out there to track. So what you need first thing out of everything, before you even start putting money into your car, is safety first. So what you need is definitely a helmet. So if you want to if you want to start your shit and you want to, you're like, all right, I'm ready. Best place to start off is a basic helmet. Go onto the website. You can go on Facebook. You can go to either Willow Springs and see what host they're having, or you can type in autocross. Autocross is the best way to actually start in the track. So autocross is best recommended, so you can get the feel of your car, the braking, the acceleration, the gearing. Although it is not a fast pace, I repeat, it is not a fast pace, meaning you're not going to be going out more than 100. Mostly it's in a parking lot set up with cones, and they set up lines. Of course, you treat it same thing like a time attack. You beat your time as much as you can. But it's a low speed, low risk, I should say, because it is in the open parking lot. You don't got walls within a few feet from the corner. You can get tire, suspension, steering wheel, bucket seat, everything else, all with time. My recommendation is start your car in a stock mode. That way you get your feeling of your car, what you need. If you're sliding, of course, all over the place, get yourself a bucket seat. If your car is swaying so much, or you got so much body roll, maybe you should invest in suspension. I would recommend what I was always told, and this is, I quote from Aaron, one of my colleagues, is if you're gonna buy something, buy it right the first time. Don't cheap out. Cheap parts tend to wear very quickly. Little corner and your shot just blows and shit, and there goes your fucking track day, and you're fucked because you paid this much money and now you can't track. So my recommendation, if you are gonna get a part, I recommend you get it reputable manufacturer. All right, let's say you already got your first autocross day and you're feeling pretty good with your car. But you definitely need a little bit more practice. Best investment out of the whole track day is track time, or seat time. That is the best time out of it. You see fighter jeters. Fuck is fighter jeters? So fighter jets, you see fighter jets, they always trying to get their seat time. The more hours they get into their seat time, the better. Alright, so one of the first things that I made a mistake on this Civic is I went more stance than track than anything. So one of the things you want when you go track is, I did get stretch tires on this one. You definitely don't want that on your track because you can't adjust the PSI on these, unfortunately. But as you can see, I am rubbing on the side here. Most track guys, whoever's hosting it, they won't allow you to track your car at a certain height if it's too low, and if it's rubbing, of course they're not going to allow you to track your car. So as you saw on the Civic, it's not the best. I can't really much on this carbon fiber. It's the downside of carbon fiber. So as you saw with the Civic, the front of the tire, the front end, the tires are pretty much rubbing against the fenders. Most people that host the event won't allow you. It's gonna be written in the rule book, especially like Team Towpack, they're gonna put a rule in there, not a rule, but they'll tell you can't run your car if it is too low or slant. So my best advice and the best setup as for suspension is always keep 2 fingers or 1 finger gap between your fender and your tire. Of course, once you balance it, corner balance it, and get the suspension right, then you can adjust it as your preference. But this will be my guide to you guys. That way you're not rubbing, and when you're hitting a corner, eventually this fender, when you're hitting a corner, will reach almost barely to the tip of your tire, so that way you're not rubbing when you're really pulling the G-force around the corner. I do have pictures of that, and you'll see my car looks slammed to the point where my front splitter is literally dragging on the floor. So that's my advice for you. Don't slam your car. Get yourself good tires. For me, I did run last year I would say. Last year I switched from Hankook tires. What was it? Hankook. I forgot what it's called, but I went with Hankook and I switched over to Federal RSRs. And I'm not gonna lie, after 3 track days, they still feel pretty solid, meaning that I can fully confident go into a corner knowing that these tires are still grippy and they still hold their own. And what I like about these is they warm up pretty quickly. It takes me about a lap or 2, a lap and a half. 2, I always be cautious just to give it up, put the tire pressures put the tires at their appropriate temperatures. Alright, so now that you feel comfortable with your car and you got your 3 or 4 track days on autocross, and you finally got your suspension, you finally got your brakes, you finally got tires, and the other thing I would advise you to do is if you want to see how you do your apexes, your lines, once you start going into track, we'll go with like Streets of Willow or Horse Thief Mile. Button Willow is a little more faster paced, so I would recommend Streets of Willow. That was my first track event, track seat time ever, and I actually had fun with Streets of Willow. So my recommendation is Streets of Willow. Team Towpack, hopefully they'll return there. Speed Ventures goes there. Extreme Track Days, I believe, does host events there. So those are a couple of people that host events there. You can always go to their website and register, and they're not expensive at all. That being said, I would recommend you be in the beginner or first time in classification. That way you get to be familiar with the track, learn the line. So first track day at Willow Springs, Button Willow, Horse Thief Mile, I want you to start in the lowest possible position you can be, meaning in the beginner. You do not need a fast car to track your car. You do not need an FRS, which is not a fast car. You do not need a Miata. You don't need a Civic. You don't need, what I mean is a Type R Civic, Miata, the next newest gen. You can roll around in the simplest car and still track and have fun. Track your car, but you definitely need a spare tire. I do have my spare tire. It's heading. I know my garage is all messy right now. It's never really had the intention, but I do have my spare tire. It's just laying there. So you need a toolbox. There we go. So you definitely need your toolbox. That is definitely the number one thing. I do got a backpack full of little goodies, so it has additional tools in here. I do have, since I did change the brake lines on my car, went ahead and got a tool specific for the brake lines. So just in case anything goes down, I got parts for that. You do need a torque wrench. Torque wrench is mostly recommended, especially for lug nuts if they ever go loose on track days. Got a bunch of things here. In addition, you want to get extra oil. I do run the Motul 020 brake fluid. I definitely need brake fluid just in case. I got diff oil. The other thing is, I do got a brand new coolant. So just in case at the track day I do have extra coolant. And of course we got a few handprints there. Are there two or is it just one? Oh, something dirty happening here in this car. Woo! Yeah, we smashing in the garage. Woo-wee. Now what you need, your tools, spare tire, and autocross, and then from autocross to finally going into forming into circuit racing. Or you can be like Jade. He did his first track event with BMW with the BMW instructor. That is another way to go. So if you do own a BMW, or if there's like a, what is it, the NASA, where you can drive your car there, you can have an instructor. An instructor teaches you the track and what you need to know, and gives you good feedback on your car. If you want to just bypass the autocross and just go straight to circuit, you can do that too. Comment below if you want to continue seeing this car. This the FRS build is pretty much complete, so that's why I haven't really shown it much. The Civic will be, I don't know. I don't know what I have plans for the Civic. Whether I sell it or modify it. You tell me. Do you guys really want to see me modify that car, or do you want me to just say fuck it, just sell it, and then just, you know, and then that's it. Or if you feel uncomfortable, I know some of you guys, you're like, you know, I haven't tracked my car and I don't know where to go, but I'm nervous, I don't want to do it. Don't let your nervous and you're scared hold you back. Anybody, yeah, at the track, or if you don't know anybody that's going with you, or if you got no buddies going, just go. I went by myself for the first time, met a couple awesome people there too. As you'll see later on, when you do more track events, you'll see the same people over and over. And the community for you know, the track days or track guys is very small. Very small, and it's very awesome. Nobody's being egocentric. Nobody is, you know, there to put you down. You're basically there just to have fun, and at the end of the day, your only competition should be you and only you, nobody else. It should be you and the clock. Handmade Shifts is out in the Philippines right now. Lucky bastard doing his vacation over there. But he knows somebody with the Ford Ranger Raptor, which we don't have here, which I wish we had here, because that would probably be the truck to buy. The only thing that's related to that, or the competition of it, is the, what is it? It's the Canyon. The Canyon. Is it, bro? Is it? I don't know. But it's either Chevy or GMC. It's one of those two damn trucks. They have a competition over here, which the truck looks awesome, but it sounds more awesome than a Raptor itself. So hopefully we can have a video posted up later on for that. And like always, I'm glad you watched this video. Hopefully it was informative for your part and you find this video beneficial. Shout out to everybody once again. And your boy is out. Peace.